Hello and welcome to In Business Talks 2. We're excited to welcome you to our bonus episode, the Friday Fix, episode 20. We are your hosts, Tracy and Ian, founders of In Business, a networking and business support community. And together,
we are In Business.
Every Friday we will be discussing a business related subject with either one of our wonderful In Business networking members or a fellow business owner who will be sharing their advice, thoughts or knowledge on a particular topic. Oh, and make sure you listen to the end of the show to hear our guests tell us about their favourite networking tip.
Today we're talking to Nicola Macdonald, who's been helping solo business owners to gain a flow of clients they love to work with since she formed Attractive Marketing in 2011. She works with consultants, coaches, experts and freelancers who are brilliant at what they do. Having left the corporate world, they soon realise that they need to learn new marketing skills if they want to succeed.
So, without further ado, let's crack on with the Friday Fix.
We'd like to welcome Nicola Macdonald today with us on the Friday Fix. It's lovely to see you, Nicola. Thanks for coming
Nicola.
along.
Thank you for being here with us today.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Would you like to just tell us a little bit about your business first?
Yes, thank you. I would. So my business is called Attractive Marketing, and I started it 10 years ago. That's when I took the leap out of the SME world, actually, because I wanted to help many business owners to develop their marketing strategy and attract the clients that they deserve and help them to be successful themselves as well. So mainly the clients that I work with are solo business owners, consultants, experts in their field, brilliant at what they do, but marketing is a mystery. So I help them to develop
it. It certainly is, yes, definitely.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a minefield as well, isn't it?
Yeah. Excellent. Thank you for that. So today I believe you're going to be talking to us about niching. So basically, first question, what is niching?
Yes, my favourite topic. Before you started your business, the context that you would have heard the word niche might be where someone perhaps has found their calling, or they feel, they've got their comfortable position in life or in employment. But when you started your business, you probably came across the word niche and discovered that it broadly means narrowing down the people you market to. Yeah. So generally, that is when the nerves start to jangle and defences go up, because when you start your business, you're absolutely passionate about what you do, and you want to help as many people as possible because there's lots of people out there that need your help.
That's
so.
Yeah.
I'm sure everyone can relate to this.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, because of this passion to want to help as many people as possible, it does mean that we become rather general, too wide in terms of the people that we want to target. And that results in disappointment and frustration. So all those people that we expected flocking to us doesn't necessarily happen.
No.
Yeah, you often hear people saying, don't you, oh, my customers are anyone. And
yes.
That's not good enough, is it?
Not really. No. The disappointment, yes, as you say, it comes in the opportunities don't come your way, lack of inquiries, not enough clients. And if you do get the clients, sometimes, very often, it's not the kind of clients you were expecting or had envisaged.
When you say you can help anyone, it's a bit like a scattergun approach, isn't it? It's not, I suppose niching is more laser targeted, isn't it, in effect?
Absolutely. And that is also, I think, where the frustration comes in, because when you are being very general and scattergun, the marketing is difficult to do. It's difficult to you become rather sporadic, ad hoc in it because you don't enjoy doing it, because you haven't got a plan. You don't completely understand what your marketing messages are, so that you can sit in front of a blank screen and wonder what you should be writing about this week. And I think the other thing as well is when we start our businesses, we suddenly realise that there are so many hats to wear. Whether it's becoming good at the financial figures, the salesperson, delivering, marketing being one of them. We've got so many hats to wear and skills that we find that we don't have, but we need to learn to do it quite quickly because we don't want to go back into the corporate world.
No, I'm going to avoid that if we can, definitely.
No. So why are people resistant to niching then? Why do you think they...
I think that, yes, there is a resistance because as soon as we talk about niching, and it means focusing and narrowing down to a specific market, serving a specific group of people with a specific problems, and then that idea and that feeling of narrowing down, it's like, hang on, this isn't what I want to do. It feels as though I'm going to be blocking out a whole raft of people, potential clients. And especially when you start, you the thought of narrowing down means you feel as though you're going to miss out on opportunities. And actually, right now, you need all the clients that you can get.
You do.
Yeah,
I know that feeling well. When I started my business, I took anything and everything.
Yeah,
yes.
and also I think another reason, and I know that was for myself as well, you enjoy the variety. So one reason I wanted to work with lots of different people and leave working for one company as employed, because I wanted variety. And you do get a feeling that if you are narrowing down, potentially you are reducing the variety and it will become too repetitive. But that doesn't have to be the case. And another resistance is a reason people become nervous is because they fear that they might choose the wrong target. What if I get it wrong? What if I try it and nothing happens? I've lost 3 months, or I've lost 6 months, or I'm back to square one. That's another reason to feel nervous about it. And it is the not knowing where to start, really.
Yeah. So I suppose it can be difficult when you start thinking about it, aiming for just one particular target, can't it? Because if it doesn't work instantly and it starts to go wrong, or you perceive it not going right, or you think, oh, why did I pick this type of niche when I should have been doing this? I suppose it can be a bit scary.
It is, yes, and that's why I think that I say niching is a journey. It doesn't happen overnight, and you pick your niches for a reason. It's not just drawing them out of the hat and it feels good. There is some thought process behind it if you do it correctly, and if you do it that way, then you do feel confident about making that choice. You feel motivated and excited, and also then you've got a belief in it, so therefore that it does take time to get traction and to be known for that, whatever that niche is and your specific problems. So yes, there is if it's done with thought, it should be okay.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Cool. So what are the benefits then of niching?
Well, yes. So the benefits are far outweigh the negatives that we might have talked about. So when you become known when you become known in a very specific niche, you're suddenly not necessarily competing on price. You're standing out from the crowd, so people are choosing you on the value that you bring, and you've created specific products or specific programs to help those particular people in your niche. So therefore, you can put your fees up. So you're perhaps getting away a bit from the time for money that certainly as a consultant that you're often find yourself in to begin with. And you can actually, you're in more demand, and you've got your reputation has grown, so therefore you can increase your fees gradually. That's a good reason.
Yeah,
Very
yeah,
good.
yeah. We like that reason.
Yeah, always on the bottom line there. It's easier to win new clients. I mean, it's the same thing as I was saying then now, because you are the perfect choice, because you're very, very targeted, and everything you do is specific to those people. So it's easier to win new clients. The other thing is that you are working with people who you really love to work with, and generally they're much more fully invested in you, and so therefore it doesn't feel like work. Whereas when you are rather more scattergun, and you are perhaps attracting and saying yes to everything because you need it, you often end up with nightmare clients, and ones that don't quite fit, and so therefore it feels a bit of a uphill struggle. But when you are very much working within your niche, it doesn't feel like work. It sort of generally works like clockwork.
Yeah, it's more enjoyable, isn't it? Like you say, if you want to work with the people you want to work with, you enjoy the work, which makes it better still then, doesn't it?
And they probably share your values, don't they, these people? Because
Yes,
they get what you do.
that's right. Yeah, your values are aligned, and there are lots of different ways that you can niche, and that can be one of those. Certainly, if you've got very strong environmental values, and so do your clients, then because those values are aligned, it's a perfect fit, as you say. Yeah. And the other thing as well is not just the when you're networking, for example, you become known for a specific service, or for resolving a specific problem. So they're going to get more introductions and referrals than when you're known for lots and several things. So it's not just, you'll get more introductions and more referrals when you're known for, when you are in a specific niche. So
Networking works so much better if you can be really specific about what you do. It's easier for other people to remember and focus on them, isn't it? Like you say.
Yeah, people understand what you do.
Absolutely. I mean, I work with a client who I think he's probably going for about 3 years now. He could so easily have gone out of the corporate world and been a business coach, but he chose pricing as his what he wanted to be known for. And I have been able to introduce him to so many people, but purely because it's obvious. You've got a pricing problem, you talk to Mark. Whereas I know for a fact, having conversations with business coaches, they do struggle to stand out from the crowd from other business coaches, and it's so much easier to be able to make introductions to someone who's very, very focused, and they're an obvious choice. It's so much easier to make introductions.
So what are the signs you might need to consider
to niche?
Yeah.
Yes. So apart from the obvious ones, not having enough quality inquiries and converting those to dream clients, or the struggle that we're having with doing your marketing being ad hoc, or as you mentioned, being scattergun. I actually asked, there's 3 clients I'm working with at the moment, and I asked them what made them decide to explore niching.
Oh, right.
So yeah, their answers were quite different and really interesting. So the first one, he said that he was stuck wanting to help everyone, but he said that he knew he needed to focus because he had a limited marketing budget, and he tried certain marketing activities before, and realizes now that they were far too widespread. So he tried leafleting. He tried some Facebook ads, Google ads, and they didn't work. So it was a waste of his marketing budget. And I'm sure many of your listeners are solo business owners, and our budgets are on a shoestring, and it's just so easy to waste money. So that was his realization, that he needed to be more focused.
Yeah, we actually tried the Facebook. We dabbled in the Facebook marketing a bit, and we thought we'd fairly niched our target client, and we fired something out there. We got nothing back, did we? I mean, I think Facebook says they're sending it out to, I don't know, 60,000 people, whatever it is, and you're thinking, yeah, but we've had nothing back, and it didn't really work at all, did it, for us? That
unfortunately, that is a common story I hear, and in fact, I was doing a marketing planning workshop this morning with a company, and they had exactly the same tale, promising the world and then spending money, no results. And actually, what's really sad is they weren't being given any analytics back or any reporting. So you can't even take that experience and say, well, okay, this is why it wasn't working.
Right.
This is what we need to tweak. And it's really upsetting when you hear those stories.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So that was one sort of trigger that helped, that's made someone think, I need to do something, I need to focus on niching. The next one was, and I think it will be quite relevant to a lot of people at the moment, and it was related to the pandemic. So he started his business 18 months previously to when the pandemic hit. Basically, his business was focused around helping companies to export and international companies to import into the UK. So, of course, that went haywire. But because of the challenges and needing clients, he found that he was saying yes to everything, because he needed the work and was concerned about where the next client was coming from. So his answer to my question was, he realised that the work that he was doing, he wasn't enjoying it, and he was compromised on. He had to compromise on his day rate or his prices. And there's an exercise that I gave him to do, which I'm going to mention in a moment, that as a tip for people to help them with their niching. You know, he was able to identify what it was that he enjoyed doing and where the better paid work was. Right. So I think a lot of people will be able to relate to that there's been a bit of a nervousness or a knee-jerk reaction, thinking, what I wanted to be doing has just been wiped out, and I need to be saying yes to everything. And
do something different. Yeah.
What you're left with is not really what you want. So for him, this is the right time to be exploring and discovering his niche. And the third person that I'm working with at the moment, she helps small business owners with technology and in systems to make them more efficient. So she's a VA, and she was telling me that she works on quite a diverse range of tasks for different businesses, and then the technology that she's using is there's so many different technologies that all those different clients need, and the pace that technology goes, she was struggling to keep up with so many different systems. So she's for her own sanity, she says that she wants to niche down and look at companies where she can keep up with the technology changes, and also she does like working with companies who have got a sustainability value, as she does too. She actually works and lives on a farm. That's, I guess, a family business that she has. So she's she wants to tie in that passion with also her expertise on helping small businesses as a VA being more efficient with their systems.
Right.
Yeah. Right. And just because you do niche doesn't mean to say that you can't do other things. If people approach you with something, something else, and you want to take it on, you can still take it on. It doesn't stop you taking on those different projects, but I suppose you can pick and choose whether
you accept them
whether
or
you
not.
accept them or
do
not, can't you?
Yeah.
You're absolutely right there. You will find, even though you narrow down, you will still be getting people coming to you. As you might be saying, well, I know you work with accountants and I'm a lawyer, but does it still work? Well, yes. And exactly the same situation today. The company I was doing a marketing planning session with, they do personalized children's products. Now, when they first came to me, I said, I will be totally open and honest with you. My expertise lies with business to business, and helping solo business owners develop their marketing strategy. However, the questions that I would ask you and I ask them are exactly the same. I am very, but my knowledge of the product industry for baby items is zero. I can find someone for you. And actually I did, and introduced them, somebody who's got a great track record in PR for helping some companies grow their business in that industry. But they actually still chose to go with me, and they said, you know what, we're going to get the groundwork done with you, and then yes, that person would be great to work with. So you're absolutely right. You still get other opportunities, but I think it does afford you to be confident and being open, saying, this is who I am. Yes, of course I can help you. And it's your choice then.
Yeah.
And I think your honesty there in saying, look, I'm not an expert in this, but obviously you know about marketing, led them to think, yeah, well, we building trust, aren't you? That's, oh, well, this is a trustworthy, they're being honest with me. I trust this person now. Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, and that's the know, like, trust, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it
which
works.
is the networking cycle.
Yeah,
yes,
works.
Definitely. Have you got any tips to explore what your niche might be?
Yeah, you mentioned it earlier. You had some ideas on how to do that. What tips could you give us?
Yes, okay. So I love giving these tips away. So the first thing I get my clients to do, to help them to explore and discover their niche, is I get them to look at their past and present customers, and give them a rating. So there's a possible 3 points here going. So if you look at your clients and give them a point for if you delivered good results for them. So it's been a good exercise. You've delivered the results that they were looking for. It's either resolving their problem or getting to them to be where they wanted to be. So give them a point if that was a successful outcome. Give them another point if you really enjoyed working with them. So your values were aligned, which is something that you mentioned earlier. You connected, you clicked. So it was an enjoyable experience for you. You were doing something with them that you really loved doing. And give them a third point if it was a good revenue generator for you. We're in business to make profit, so we can't be giving our expertise away. So if you have had a good day rate, or if that's how you work your pricing, but you won't sort of bash down for a discount or anything like that. If it was if you earned out of it what you believed was fair, give them another point. And when you've analysed all your clients that way, have a look at the ones that have scored 3 points and see what common characteristics that they have. It might not be obvious at first, and you need to sort of let these ideas germinate. And I say the ideas of what it might be suddenly pop into your mind when you're in the bathroom or going for a walk or enjoying a glass of wine. So, but that does help you to discover where your niche might be. Equally, I think the ones that score 1 point tell you where it isn't, and where you might be going wrong. Well, I don't like to say going wrong, but where you might want to avoid. And maybe the ones,
Focus less on. I suppose.
exactly. And the ones score 0.2, maybe not dismiss them, but what is it that would have made them score a 3, so that you know that that's important too. But there might be some themes that come out, which I've got I have 10 themes that I take my clients through that can help you to maybe a combination of 3 of them helps you to find your super niche. So industry might be one of them, or values might be another one, or your personal personal knowledge might be another one, or your expertise, and so on. So see what themes come out. Or it could be business stage, for example. If you're working B2B, it could be their startups, or it could be, for me, I noticed that a lot of my clients have done a piece of work with a business coach, and therefore they needed then help. They'd written a business plan, and therefore they needed help. The next stage, they needed help to write their marketing plan. So that didn't jump out at me straight away. So yeah, let it germinate. So that's the first one, to rank and analyze your past and present clients. Another one, I would say, being a quick win actually, is to be known for one thing. And this can be as easy. I had this the other day, actually. I asked in a Facebook group, can anyone recommend somebody that can help my client to launch a podcast? And this one person came up 6 times. In fact, he was the only person that came up. So when I looked at his website, this was really interesting. There were other things that he did. However, he had made a conscious decision in this group to only be talking about podcasts. So that's what he got known for, and that's what he got recommendations for. So if you do have a menu of services, just talk about one. That's 1 point in this one thing you want to be known for. The other thing could be if you take your clients through a process or a program, a bit like I do when I'm doing the marketing plan. Choose something that's right at the beginning that is actually something critical, that they can get a result from, but also makes a difference. So that's why rather than talking all the facets of a marketing plan, if I just talk about niching, which is one of the first conversations I would have, then it's much better. I'm more likely to get more introductions because someone wants to support with their niching than I have a question about marketing strategy. It's much more focused. So that's quite a quick win. So it doesn't include rebrand, for example, or changing all your, you might want to tweak the main message on your website, but that can be a quick win. And my third tip, which is, I think, when you could become super niched, and I alluded to that before, is when you combine several different elements. So it might be your expert knowledge with your personal experience and an industry. And my example here is a videographer I was speaking to. Now, so he's for many years, he creates great videos for SME business owners, but he more recently has niched down through using personal experience. Years ago, he was telling me he used to be a bodybuilder, but then he did that, and actually it did cause him to have mental health challenges, which then he stepped back from being bodybuilding, and then how he used sport, fitness to help his mental health challenges. So he's got a personal passion about the importance of body and mind when it comes to fitness. So he's used his professional expertise as a videographer, his personal experience through mind and body and fitness, and he's targeting the sports industry. And he was telling me that combination has helped him to win a major contract for something that's happening on later this year, a big sporting event that he would never, ever have been able to even get a conversation about, had he not positioned himself like that. So, I mean, that's a really super niched example.
So niching does work then, doesn't it, really? 3 examples there to prove it, I suppose.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And have you got any final thoughts on niching?
Yes. So I would say that to think about niching as a journey, it doesn't happen overnight. Every year we gain new experiences. We learn different things about our ideal clients, which does help us to evolve and refine our niche. So that whole experience, or the process of exploring and discovering and developing, is something that you can keep coming back to. As I say, you don't stop learning about your ideal clients, and every conversation that we have provides new insights, which, as far as I'm concerned, is gold dust for developing memorable marketing messages and content that engages and brings us in sales. And just that question earlier that I asked those 3 clients of why did you discover, why did you make that decision to explore niching? The answers that they came back with helps me to be able to be better in my marketing. So be ask curious questions of your clients, use their answers to be able to help you in your marketing.
Excellent.
Cool. Before we go on to the we're going to ask, might be a surprise, but we're going to ask you about a networking tip shortly. But before we do, if people do want to get in touch with you, Nicola, if they want to find out more about what you do, or contact you and have a chat with you, what's the best method they can get in touch?
Well, my website is attractivemarketing.biz, biz. You'll find me on LinkedIn. I'd love to connect on LinkedIn. So that's probably, those 2 are probably the best ways. If you go to my website as well, you can send me a message via that or via LinkedIn, and very happy to set up a chat if you've got any questions. So those are probably the best ways. Thank you.
We'll put those details in the show notes. So people can get in touch. That's lovely. So what is your networking tip, Nicola?
Oh, I'm a big fan of networking. That's how I've built my business. So so it's all about, isn't it, those stages of know, like, and trust that we've mentioned there. So, and I'm sure many of to me, it's all in the follow-up. The networking is often the first stage, isn't it? The first touch when people meet you, and you do need to be consistent with it. And I'm sure many of your podcast guests have said it's all in the follow-up. But for what I would say is, I very quickly created an email marketing list so that I could stay in touch with the people that I met whilst networking. And give them a good reason to stay in touch. So you share your content generously, and certainly as we're networking online at the moment, and people put their details in the chat, to have, say, your top 10 tips, or a download lead magnet, as we call it, to put a link to that in the chat, so that you've got something valuable that people can download, and then they're into your email marketing list, and then you can continue to nurture that relationship and build the know, like, and trust through your content going forwards. And I'm getting clients and inquiries doing that from people that I met over 10 years ago. So my networking tip was to create an email marketing list as soon as possible, and get your networking contacts into that.
That's good though. The putting the download in the chat to try and get people.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
People interested. Very good idea, that one.
Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah, and you're right. It is all about the follow up.
Yes,
it always surprises me that people network and they never follow up. You think, well, they missed the main point of networking. You collect a business card, stick it in a drawer, forget all about it, and you missed the point of networking. So no,
absolutely,
No, that was absolutely brilliant. Thank you, Nicola. Some really useful insights there into niching your business.
Some really good tips as well, I thought there. Yeah, some good
Yes.
stuff in there. Thank you very much.
Excellent. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for sharing.
Yeah.
Good. You're very welcome, and thanks again for having me.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Bye, Andy. Bye.
We're almost at the end of this week's show, but before we go, we're excited to tell you about our In Business Talks 2 episode this coming Tuesday. Our special guests on Tuesday's podcast are Shells and Damon Wallace, our first transatlantic couple.
All the way from America?
Yes.
All the way from America.
Yes, Ian, all the way from America. And we're really looking forward to speaking to them and digging deeper into their experiences as a business couple.
Thanks so much for joining us this week on Business Talks 2 Friday Fix. We hope you've enjoyed it, and if you have, all we ask is that you simply tell a friend about the show. We'd really appreciate it. So until next time, this is Ian and Tracy, and together
we are in business. Goodbye.
Goodbye.